Okay, we're back at the CNC, and Tim has put in the V-bit that we will use for the first cut. And Tim, why don't you Z that off? By the way, I had to get a new Z puck because what was happening, it was, as I was Zing, it was sticking too much. If that's the case, there's either a loose connection up where you plug that thing in, or your puck literally just has too many little dents from Zing it so much. But we try to Z things. This is going to be a 12-inch cut, which is our standard cut. And we try to Z it always in the middle of the board in case it's a little warped. Now, I do recommend that you probably get a drum sander, which I have, and I usually sand the board, so I make sure that the cut's going to be even all the way across. But another little tip here is, as you can see, this is actually a 3-foot board. That's what I get from Home Depot. And I cut one side 12 inches, and then I just flip it around and cut the other side 12 inches. And then essentially I'm left with the middle piece that is 12 inches too. So I'll use that later on. And actually I'll show you those. So I got a big pile of leftover pieces there that I'll use at some point. And then right here is a table right next to my machine that I put the cutout pieces on. And I also have a nice little sander from Harbor Freight, which is used for getting off the tabs, as well as you use the jigsaw up there to remove the tabs. And then the best thing I've ever bought is, of course, a Festool sander. And that Festool sander, I have it with the orbital sander, and I sand it while it's still on the machine. So that's a great way to go.
And you gotta always make sure you Z it. Because if you don't see it, you're going to have problems.
Correct.
And another tip is with these cutout boards, make sure you cut it out before you start moving the board, because it's going to break off and you're going to end up with broken pieces on the carving. So make sure you cut it out with the handsaw.
Yes. Good point.
Okay, so we're going to start the carving.
Yep.
We're going to do the V-carve first. I'm gonna leave the dust boot off.
No,
put it on?
Keep
okay.
it on, yeah.
And we're not going to show you a carving. We're going to show you the finished product of what it is, because we showed you we were designing it. And yeah, so
Correct.
we're going to run
Let's
it.
go carve. I'll get it started here. Hold on.
Where's that?
And remember, he also XY'd it.
Yeah, I did.
And then we have a nice little, instead of buying those expensive vacuum things, I'm going to have Tim, we have a $39 switch that we bought. He will start it.
Just making sure you should always make sure it's XY. You see it is where it's 0.
Yeah.
So we're gonna run it. V-carve 60. We'll just show you a little clip of it carving.